Hey guys, happy Saturday. Well, I'm not gonna pull a card today. I'm just gonna yap. So if you want to hear me yap, but I did that quick mix off my other video, and it didn't really. It's only when you mix a video that you already have on YouTube, you only can do it for 60 seconds. So it didn't really get the full of what I wanted to say. So I'm gonna say it. I was saying if you're suffering from addictions or whatever, like hitting rock bottom and deciding, I'm gonna, do something better with my life and I'm gonna quit, that has to be decided by you only. Like, that's the only way it works, really, is if you decide. And it's kind of the same as the tower moment, like my tower moment. My tower moment was, it happened with my ex-boyfriend, which, I felt, that they wanted me to get away from, by they, I mean God, spirit, my parents in heaven, everybody. Like, I seen the red flags, I heard the music, I felt the warnings, and they were just saying, you need to, this is not your guy, but I had that tower moment where I knew that and felt it and did it, and I think having rock bottom moment, if you have, alcohol or whatever, is kind of the same feeling that you get. You just decide, and you feel it with everything you have in your body, your soul. But it's so important. I mean, I've been through this, so it's easy to say, but, if you're just not happy and you're not fulfilled, you're not loved, and you're a giver and you're not getting, make a change, you guys. It's hard, to do that, to decide to do that. It's scary, any change is scary, but it's worth it, it's worth it. Talk to God, talk to your guides. They will help you. Like, there's times where I didn't have any money and I had like $600 stuff I had to do just to fix my car. It was my only car. And the money came from somewhere. I mean, it's just do it. Make your mind up. Focus on the happy, and it will happen. Okay? Because I have no regrets, and I gave up a lot of things. Okay, so that's my beef. Well, that's my short because it went past 3 minutes. So, but I started making another video. I think that, I was saying that, my brother was a police officer, and he was saying that, how sad it is. Like, most of their calls, when he was first a police officer, he went on to detective and homicide and everything. He was a sergeant when he retired. But when he was first a police officer, I was talking to him, and he's like, the worst thing is we get so many domestic calls. And it's just sad because the women are just like, they don't want to press charges. They don't want to, they feel stuck, I guess, or, they just think it's okay that they're being abused, but, that's not okay. You're better than that. You deserve more than that. If somebody is abusing you, that, whether they love you or not, they have issues. They need to fix themselves, and you don't need to be there while they're trying to do that. You need to move on. And I'm sorry, I know love, when you're in love, you have blinders on. Believe me, I've had it too. I've never been abused, and I would have never been abused because anybody laid a hand on me, like, yeah, that wouldn't happen. I made it very clear. Yeah, your ass better kill me. That's just straight up. But that being said, I also know how it is when you have love blinders on, and you're just, I'm so in love, I don't want to, lose this, because of course you have good things in any relationship, regardless of what's, happening, but, you don't deserve to be abused. And when my brother told me that, it stuck. This is years ago, and it really stuck, and I thought, I didn't understand it, and I kind of do understand it now, but not to the extent, like, I mean, somebody ever put a bruise on me on purpose because they hit me or something, I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, whatever the case may be, I'm a lover, not a fighter. You want to do that to me, I'm worth more than that, and so are you. So please don't, do that. You're worth more than that. There's better out there. Trust me. If there's a guy hitting you and he thinks that's okay, no, you deserve better than that. And just please know you do. And that's part of awakening, is knowing your worth and knowing and loving yourself enough to know what you deserve, and that's so important. And I'm not just talking to women, like, I know there's men out there that are being abused by women, and that, deserve that. And I'm not also just talking about physical abuse. There's very, different kinds of verbal abuse. I had controlling, my first boyfriend that I was engaged to was very controlling, and of course I didn't, I just made fun of him for it. Like, for instance, I worked at Home Depot. I was a cashier or it was Home Base at the time. This was like, I was 18. I just graduated high school, and like 2 weeks after graduation I moved in with this guy, and he was very controlling. Like, I'd get home from work every day, working at Home Base. There's a lot of construction workers, and I'd get home every single day, and he'd be, how many guys picked up on you today? And I'd just be like 100. I don't know. I lost count, I know I'm a brat, but, you're gonna give me bullshit, I'm gonna give it right back. I'm sorry. That's way before my awakening. Like, that's just me, my personality. I'm not gonna put up with that bullshit. So I didn't. I just, whatever. If I've given you no reason not to trust me. So if you don't, that's on you. That's your deal. You can deal with that how you want. But this same guy is the one that cheated on me in our relationship. I mean, at the time, I found out, I was hurt, and, that hurt your ego or whatever, and I was, hurt by it, but I kind of in the back of my head knew he wasn't my guy, so, but he's still married to her today, and still, has kids and stuff, because me and his cousin are good friends, so, I know that he's doing good, and so I figure that's who he was supposed to be with. So it didn't really, hurt me, but it did show me that, a lot of guys that are like accusing you of things, sometimes maybe they're doing those things, and that's why they're worried you're doing those things, because they want their cake and eat it too, And that same with my ex-boyfriend. He was getting like that, and I, was pretty blunt about, I'm not gonna put up with that bullshit, sorry, if you got issues, you gotta deal with your own shit. But that's just the way I am, because I'm not a jealous person, I'm not, that's just not me. I figure if you do something, then I'm just not going to be with you anymore, if I find out, it might hurt, but you move on. I've moved on so many times now, it's like, if it's good, I'll be in it till it's not, I'll be in it to win it, but, if you blow it, that's on you. But yeah, I'm not that type of person. I don't cheat. I don't, I'm not gonna, if I don't want to be in something, I'm not in it. I'm very honest. There's been so many guys I've like dated or whatever, and I always just say, I'm not feeling this, I don't got that flame, I don't, or whatever. Like if we date and I just feel like if it's not there, like let them know, and that's the same way I wish people would be with me, but it's usually not that case. Nobody's, especially guys, like guys have a hard time just being blunt, and they just like drag it on and whatever. And at least my experience in guys, I'm not like calling out all guys, I know there's guys that are probably more like me, as far as the way they handle things, but yeah. So I just, I wish people would get that, just their tower, their rock bottom, just because life's short, and you just need to enjoy life and start, make a change, do something that, even if it's taking a chance, who cares? Like, it's a chance. Life's a game, you guys. What it comes down to, it's just a game, lessons and blessings, and what's you need to ask yourself, if I do this, what's the worst thing that could happen? And if that worst thing that can happen would break you, then maybe don't do it, but if you got a list of, I always tell my daughter, like when she has like, because she's very like organized and, has to have very, so I always tell her, make a list of the good and the bad out of it, like make a list. If you really want to do something, but you're just thinking, oh, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, make a list of what the good things that could happen come out of it and the bad things. And then make your decision, That's all you can do. So, I don't know. I mean, it took me a long time, like, I'm trying to think, like, from the time I decided I was going to quit my job and move. Okay, now the sun's all the sun's all, like, right here. So, that's great. Okay, you probably can't even see me anymore. Can I turn it this way? Oh, the sun's, like, coming right through the trees. Okay. Anyways, well, maybe I'll go ahead and leave it at that then, so this is not a long ass video, but that's funny. But yeah, I just I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video, but I just wanted try to put some fire in some people's ass, to make their life better, Okay, guys. See you soon. Bye.